Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2017. It's our second season here as Air United, and it is currently the 13th of January, 2018. We are second overall in our championship league over here at 38 points. The Hibs still have a pretty impressive lead. We still have a decent gap between us and third place Dunfermline, who we're going to be playing against today. I would prefer it a little higher. We did have 2 away games in between sessions over here, both of which led to a draw. Now, there was a little bit of difficulty here in that these games were kind of back-to-back, right? We had Kilmarnock, then we had 4 days later the Hibs, then 3 days later we had St. Mirren, and then 4 days after that we had Morton. A lot of games really close together. In the Morton game, I ended up playing a lot of our secondary players in as a backup rotation, just because our primary team was really winded at that point. And I think what I should have done is done maybe a better job of doing partial rotations into the St. Mirren game and then another partial rotation for the Morton game, just so that we would still have a few more of the stronger players. I mean, don't get me wrong, as everyone always says, drawing in an away game is, sort of your goal, sort of acceptable. On the other hand, we would have preferred with St. Morton, with both, I suppose, St. Mirren and Morton, who are sort of mid-table teams, it would have been nice to come away with a win over there. But overall, I can't say that we're doing too badly. So yeah, still second place over there, and we're facing Dunfermline today. Now, we are in the transfer window over here, and I've been doing a fair amount of work on the on the job, I suppose, of getting some extra players for the team. Now, this has been something throughout the season I've had a very difficult time finding a new sort of first team player that isn't going to overcost us. It's been a bit of a thing in our league and in our position and with our current financial position. It's being kind of difficult to find a player that's out and out just purely better than what we've already got. But what we can use is a few more backup players at the very least to sub in a couple of positions, especially if there happens to be an injury. We don't have a lot of depth in the wings. Still lacking a certain amount of depth in the defense, and while only playing 2 midfielders, we actually have a couple of good backup midfielders that we can rotate in. The team as a whole keeps complaining that there's a lack of depth in the midfield team. I think because if we were playing, say, a 4-4-2, then we really wouldn't have enough people to play the sort of midfield wingers as opposed to the attacking wingers. So there's a few sort of complaints there that can be addressed. So what I did is I've basically gone through a scouting spree here where, there we go, where I'm just looking at free agents over here. So valued at 0, so they're free agents. I'm requiring that they already speak English. And other than that, decent kind of thing. Mostly I'm sorting for people who have a high natural fitness and a high work rate, and ideally might be a little bit younger, so that even though they're, because we know we're only getting backup players now. We're not getting a superstar player right now. But if they're younger and they're fit and they have a really good work rate so they'll train well, then we might get something that can develop for the future. And if nothing else, we might get something that we can flip around and trade, trade up for more money, right? Even if their value only ends up being 10K, 20K or something like that, that actually works out pretty decently for us. So what we've done is I have picked up I think 6 players. That looks like 6 players over here that we've picked up. And recently we picked up Tom Flanagan and Will Nightingale as well, although I think they were there for the last video over here. So yeah, we've picked up a few bad boys. Look at this, Tom Flanagan here, this backup player valued at 90K. I mean, he's got, high wage, so that kind of makes sense. But I'm happy that he's just a backup player, so he's not going to whine about, not getting enough first team play here. But yeah, 3 of them we've qualified as hot prospects. 3 of them we've qualified as youngsters over here. You can see they're all getting paid under £200 per week, and that's not too shabby. Lewis Wilson has a pretty low value, but we'll see how it goes. So if we take a look at these guys, you're going to see it's not the highest work rate example, nor natural fitness example, but he was someone who has potential as a ball-winning midfielder, which is sometimes a little hard to find. Double-digit tackling. Again, he's only 19 years old. 19 years old. He's got double-digit tackling, double-digit work rate, and slightly higher natural fitness. Good first touch as well, and passing. He's actually, I think he's got some real potential. He's only 19 years old, and so if we can keep training him up, that'd be nice. His determination is pretty low, so that might hold him back. We'll see how it goes. I mean, none of these people are supposed to be, like, stars, right? That's not what we're looking for. So again, work rate of 12, natural fitness, okay, only 10, it's a little lower there. But he's got, again, double-digit first touch, double-digit passing, makes him a pretty decent little connector there. Again, not a superstar, but that's not what we're looking for. Marcus Brown, we recruited him, and he instantly developed food poisoning. He's only out for a little bit. He's one of the examples with the lower work rate. But other than that, he's got a few things going for him. What else we got? Oliver Rathbone, who is one of our... Oh, no, it's another midfielder over here. Good work rate over here, which is really nice. So hopefully he'll train well and eagerly. He's even got his face in the game. Joe Lindley over here, one of our defenders. Our fans weren't quite as eager about having picked him up. They don't feel that he's quite as strong. But again, the decent natural fitness and work rate. His actual physical stats otherwise aren't stupendous, but I mean, it's still double-digit acceleration and things. He, as a defensive fullback, it's not so bad. But yeah, he's really lacking in technical skills. I mean, he's got no crossing, no real ability to pass. I mean, nothing tremendous, so I really don't see him getting a lot of action. I can see why, his value is lower, for example, and why the fans weren't quite as happy for him. But I also picked up a lot of these guys without any extensive scouting of their skills. It was mostly like looking, because we still had the wide range. It was like something like, this guy's work rate might have been like 8 to 15, and his natural fitness might have been something like 12 to 17. And I was like, okay, well, we'll take a risk. It's $100. So $100 per week ain't much. So we'll see what we can do. So these guys, again, might not see a ton of action. His value is particularly low, or we might get lucky. Probably not much, but we'll see how that goes. So I think that's fine. We still have money in our budget, so it was worth, I think, just picking up some cheap people and seeing if we might get lucky with something. So anyway, our formation for today is going to be this. We are going to start Craig McGuffey here, because I've started him a couple of times away, but not, I think, with one of our home games, and we want to showcase that. Also, people did note when they spotted in the form report over here, is that it looks like most of the times, it did start a couple times, didn't he? I guess that was a start here. On sub. Wait, is that when he came on? Or is this when he was subbed in? Maybe he was substituted out at that minute? Did he play the entire Morton game over here? It would be really nice if this were described a little bit more. I mean, this must be when he came on. Clearly. So here, these two he must have started and then been substituted out, is what I assume. And here must have finished the game. So he's played a few full games, although not for a while. So we're going to start him here. I'm assuming I'm reading this right. I don't know. And we're going to start him as false 9 because people pointed out that a lot of his goals did indeed seem to come from when he was a false 9, right? He did get one here as a winger, which is something that he's quite good at. I mean, he didn't get any goals here as a false 9, but we'll see. We're also going to be playing the rest of the trio up front on a more attacking kind of role, so hopefully that's going to be enough aggression. We're playing third place team, so it's not like we got a huge sort of edge, but we're playing at home. I'm still going to play with the control mentality. Some people think that the control mentality is a little bit more slower tempo. I think they're getting confused with counter, because if you look here and you look at standard, I'm just going to flip back and forth between control and standard here, and you can see that control is higher tempo, less time wasting, the defensive line moves forward a little bit more, we do close down a little bit more aggressively, and that's about it. So overall, control is just slightly more aggressive than standard. So I don't know. I think that's going to work out okay. How's our substitute? Oh, our Ross Duhin, our goalkeeper who was on loan to us, was a little unhappy that it wasn't playing as much, and really that is the purpose of being loaned to a lower-ranked team. So we went ahead and terminated loan, and that's going to be fine. I mean, Alexis Sauvage is doing great for us. It's just a question of backup goalkeepers. We've got a couple on the first team anyway, so that's going to be all right. So yeah, we're going to be, you know what, I'm going to move Jamie Thomas over here as the substitute striker, and I don't think we're looking to start anything else. Robbie Crawford over here. Right, because Gary Fraser is injured. He's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. It's going to be quite a bit over here. So we're going to be playing Robbie Crawford as a just generic central midfielder and defensive role, I think is going to be fine. It's one of the things he's more comfortable. He's actually quite happy playing as a box-to-box midfielder. Never mind, we'll go ahead and do that. That's going to be fine. Sharpness could be a little bit higher, but it's hardly the end of the world. And yeah, it's not like there's someone else in there. Do we have... I feel like we should have Ross Doherty here as another sub. Your sharpness is really low. I mean, you got to be a lot better than Kyle Turner, right? Yeah, definitely. So, Ross, we're going to plop you in there. I think he may have been injured for a while, but I think he's all better now. So Paul Kearney is another attacking guy, and he can also go midfielder as well. Alan Thomas, who can play a few forward roles as a backup. The extra striker, that's going to be okay. I don't like Jamie Thomas's morale, but I think that's going to be all right. So let's go ahead and bring this in. He had been injured, 45-minute limit, but that's okay, because he's just going to be warmed up as a substitute. Hopefully that doesn't cause anything to linger. We'll see. I mean, it's not like his condition's that high either. Neither is Paul Kearney's, actually. Hang on. Maybe we want to look at something else. In this forward position, so let's say just as a generic attacking midfielder, is there another option? I mean, he's still just here as a sub. That's not too bad. Sorry for the silence. I'm just trying to see if there might be someone else we'd want to keep around for that. No, I think it'll be okay. All right, let's go for it, and let's see if we can get some action out of Craig McGuffey. Looks like we have... Oh, Dunfermline. We've either won or drawn against them in previous 6 matches. That includes last season. So, I mean, we have a pretty good record for them for some reason. They're missing a player on the other side. They only play 4-4-2s. Very good pitch, a little bit of rain, but that'll hopefully be okay. Referee seems to be about sort of mid, whatever. We'll go with this team. I think it's going to be all right. Processing. Craig McGuffey getting a start in a pretty important home game. So I hope that, I hope he understands that we're putting a lot of faith in him, and we'll see how that goes exactly. Processing. Come on. Finish warming up. I want to get to the action. I'm assuming, I think the newspaper will tell us that they believe we're the slight favorite. Indeed, that's the case. Very slight favorite. Although the analysis here thinks that Dunfermline is going to be ahead, but the odds over here have us as a slight favorite. I do agree. Missing Gary Fraser is going to be quite sad, because he's been doing very well for us. I was unsure at the beginning of the season, I remember, but I'm pretty keen on all this. So if I do this, you're just going to tell me to kill everyone, right? Yeah. Let's just take a look at these strikers. How quick are they? Fast-ish. Not as fast. I think PJ, we can probably just tightly mark, and we'll just say, close down pretty aggressively on the other striker. And that's going to be okay, and we'll see the rest of it. So, yeah, good form, morale is high. I mean, we're good form because of, we haven't been losing, but we haven't won in a while. Also, I got to say, Alexis Sauvage, I think he had gone on a 9-game streak of clean sheets. Let's go to our schedule over here. No, we did get scored against in the Queen of the South. Although, is it possible someone else was in net for that? No, he was in there. So I don't know. We were on a pretty good streak of clean sheets for him. Now there's some. Oh wait, maybe I don't know. We kept getting news articles about it, but I'm not sure what that represents because clearly we've been scored against. But overall, he's been doing pretty well for us. But he did get scored on last time. That's just what I was looking at. So teams I thought were already warmed up. Is it because I popped out of the match prep before the game started? Because normally if you go back to the menus while the game is going on, it doesn't force a big reload of these graphics. I wish it was just cached. Like, I've got RAM. Come on. So, yeah, we'll go ahead. Like, we're at home. I'll be passionate about it. Keep our run going. Win this match. And, okay, superb morale. The defenders, I think, could use maybe a little bit of, I have faith in you. Good. Okay. I don't think I'll say too much more than this. Let's get it started. What's with weird camera angles? We are unextended. That's going to be fine. There we go. All right, we're starting possession. Oh, is the game muted? The game is muted. Hold on a sec. Let me go and unmute that. There we go. I can mute it while playing my away games. Vincent LeBaron moving the ball way up on the flank, although he'd gotten way pinned down on the side and couldn't do anything. Ryan Stevenson going to take one of his free kicks way too high. He has scored from a free kick, if I recall correctly. 3 minutes in, we got good possession so far, but that doesn't really mean much because it's basically just one extended play. Are we going to win the header there? Lamy, the golden head, gets it. Stevenson heads it over to Craig McGuffey, who then sends it way forward to Vincent LeBaron. It does get tackled away, but McGuffey picks it up again. Look at his speed. That is exactly what we have Craig McGuffey for. Brilliant lightning speed over there. Unfortunately, his somewhat weaker finishing means that he was pretty wide of the net. But the speed can still produce a lot of opportunities. And again, I'm hoping that if we, play him maybe a little bit more than... little header play. Nope, gets cleared out. Play him a little bit more than, maybe his raw stats call for. He'll really keep practicing and developing. Again, he's gotten some good goals for us. And it's clearly just based out of his physicality. So, real potential there. I mean, I know it came out off target, but the play itself had a lot of options. This is very terrifying. Does get cleared. No. There we go. Caleb Crane. Beautiful pass up to Ryan Stevenson with gusto. There's Craig McGuffey again. Gets it over to Andy Gagan, who is, oh my God, advanced it to Daryl Fortis. Beautiful play. Was that not the single most gorgeous play ever? And I have to say, I've already been sold on the idea of Craig McGuffey being a false nine. I think we kept seeing him last season. We really fell in love with Craig McGuffey because he was getting involved in a lot of plays from the wings. And we were seeing a lot of potential there. I think just because he could carry the ball past a lot of people and then open up a really good passing opportunity or score on his own. And I think his success earlier was also the false nine, where he's a little, he's still a striker, but he's not the poacher where he's just like as far back as possible. And I think this false nine may truly be his calling forever. So, if I recall correctly, I may have actually switched his training recently over to the false nine focus. Which is not that dissimilar to the poacher focus anyway, because I think that might in fact be what we're looking for. He still needs to improve his first touch, still needs to improve his finishing. As passing, I think all those are still kind of single digits. I think they're all sitting around 8 or 9. Ryan Stevenson with a big crossfield pass to Vincent LeBaron, who dodged a pass there at McGuffey. Oh, that's gorgeous, Vincent LeBaron. I mean, I can't even necessarily like. Craig McGuffey would have maybe still been there as a poacher role. I don't know if that made much of a difference. I don't know what's going on in this game. These people are playing like the Ayr United that we know and love that has been missing for a little bit. They are super fired up. Craig McGuffey again with the ball. Beautiful! What the? I don't understand. But seeing Craig get involved in so many plays, yeah, false nine, all the way. The whole poacher thing, ridiculous. Maybe as a two-striker composition, but this, holy crap. Robbie Crawford, oh my God, almost set up Craig McGuffey for another play there. Craig didn't seem to maybe respond that quickly, or it wasn't quite in the right position, but it still leads us to having a corner. We're not even holding the possession. We're only 47% here, but we are dominating on shots, and the shots have been going in. It's possible. The real problem here is that Dunfermline's defense is out of whack, right? They could just be having a bad game more than us having a good game, or, if both are happening at the same time. They've won 100% of their tackles. Pass completion is good. Again, their possession's slightly ahead. But basically it's even. That is not great. That makes me a little unhappy. Who's this? Daryl McGatt. Okay, he does take the ball away and redeem himself, but missing that sort of aerial challenge was a little scary. Oh my lord. First of all, Tony Ralston with a beautiful pass to Craig McGuffey, who handles it like a champ, sees Ryan Stevenson, cartwheel, I 100% agree. Ryan Stevenson finds himself in a good position. Craig McGuffey sees him, and Ryan just delivers right on target. I'm in tears here. I'm very pleased with your performance. I mean, how often will you can just, praise people? I'm not going to make a change. I mean, part of me is thinking, we could scale back or something like that. It'd be nice to, defend this and end with a clean sheet, but, I mean, whatever. Guys, just keep doing whatever the hell you're doing. It's clearly working. I don't know, maybe the pitch is lopsided here, and we're going to find that out in the second half, but I don't think so. Lamy wins a little aerial battle there, although it does get delivered back into the hands of Dunfermline, who are still on the offense here. Possession still about 50-50. Our tackle game's still been quite weak, actually. It's that get touched. Is it going to be a corner or is it a goal kick? It is a corner. Okay. Wasn't sure if Savage had put his hands on there. So it's still a little bit scary here. I mean, I'm not worried about losing the game at this point, but it would be nice to win with excellent form. Since we're so far ahead, this is, if we do have any substitutes with lower match sharpness, this is probably a great game to bring them in a little earlier. And again, drawing a foul. Doesn't look like he's going to card for that, so that's quite nice. Vincent Marin with a free kick from quite far away. Daryl Fortis gets his head on it and does redirect it towards the goal, although the goalkeeper is able to get his hands on it. Daryl Fortis still having a hard time really breaking in here on the scoring game, but I think he's still contributing quite a lot overall. Ralston tries to head it over to our winger, but doesn't quite make it far enough. This is a nice break by Dunfermline. They had a beautiful opportunity there. I got to give him credit for that play, although, again, our goalkeeper. I'm really happy about this pickup of Savage here. The Savage Frenchman, because I think that he's been performing very well for us. You know, he's not like a superstar goalkeeper, but on paper he was a little bit better than a lot of other goalkeepers, and he does seem to perform pretty well. Big send forward. We do... There we go. Keep the offense going. Crawford over to Crane, who centers it to Andy Gigan, who's able to move it forward to McGuffey. Yeah, I like that McGuffey's not quite as deep. I think we've been missing... He hasn't been in a position where he could get involved in plays often enough. Oh, that's another beautiful... My God. I mean, our goalkeeper is really working hard to keep this clean sheet here. If we are going to sub in Ross Doherty, I'd really like him to get a little bit warmed up, but he is supposed to be limited to 45 minutes, so I'll probably sub him in a little bit later. Let's bring in Forrest here. Probably on the wing for Daryl Fortis. I mean, Daryl Fortis... Oh, did score this time. That's right. Derp, 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 derp. He did score, and he's got a fair amount of energy. Like, it's not about subbing out people who are really tired. It's just about, well, what the hell? Let's bring in someone with a little bit more energy. Do we not have... Why? Jamie Thomas, it's not showing his name. That's odd. Quite a few of these names are blank. Is it just some sort of weird display thing? Okay, now other people's names aren't showing. Okay. Let's try not to think about that. Craig McGuffey. Well, I mean, keep going for now, man. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I would really like to bring in on Forrest. I don't like that he's under 80% match sharpness, because he's someone that we actually do have to rely on a fair bit as a substitute and occasionally a starter. So let's go with that first. And then I can foresee us bringing in Nicky Devlin shortly. So I don't want to do all the subs at once, but a little bit earlier is going to be okay. I mean, we are, subbing out one of our, some of our stronger players for a slightly weaker player. But I think that's going to be fine. My God, okay. One of these is going to go in at some point. Oh my God, they're keeping the offense open. Who's this Croissant guy? Well, Croson. We've got him tightly marked and everything, and yet he still somehow finds himself with a space to make a move. I don't know. We'll try to close down on him a little bit more. Yeah, it's not like we're on him, but it seems to always be slightly alone. We could put a specific person to mark him. Magat clears it over to Stevenson, who just dumps it out. I think that was a fair play there, Ryan. I mean, again, we're going to lose possession because they're going to get a throw-in, but I think we needed a little bit of a reset and some breathing room because we're pulled out of position. So we're still out shooting them. Possession's about even. Our pass completion isn't fantastic, but it's slightly above theirs. And they are no longer tackling at 100%, so that's nice. Robbie Crawford gets it over to Vincent LeBaron. Bit of a wall. I think these guys maybe are playing more defensive than they were early on. Alan Forrest, it's actually a beautiful goal opportunity there. Nicely on target. Not delivered with the most power, the most flair, but can't complain too much about that. Always nice to see him get a little bit of action going on. Bit of a header battle. Alan Forrest going to be able to keep up the offense. Very nice. They've really, yeah, they're crowding the goal now. Ryan Stevenson, a foul there, I guess, during his header attempt. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. So wait another 5 minutes. We'll probably bring in Nicky Devlin or something like that. Again, try to keep up that sharpness. Oh, Andy Gigan just pulled up a yellow. So you know what? No, we're going to sub you out. I don't want you to get a red card and ruin everything. Ross Doherty. Yeah, okay. Again, he's still recovering from an injury. But we'll go ahead and do this. Help bring up his sharpness a little bit. So I'm not going to bring in Nicky yet. We'll probably have to save our final sub. Oh, hold on. Let's... Do we want you to... I guess box midfielder is going to be fine. On an explicit defense role is going to be okay. And... Hold on. Did I put you as deep line? No. Box-to-box midfielder. No. Ball-winning midfielder here. Defend role. There you go. A couple of changes. Hold on. Robbie Crawford. Do we still want you as box-to-back? No. I think I'm gonna have you be more defendy. Or maybe, you know what? I think the deep-lying playmaker on defense is going to be fine for Robbie Crawford. I kind of like that. And yeah, Ross Doherty, it'd be nice to have you in a more comfortable role. Just be a generic defensive central midfielder over here. So yeah, I'm pulling back a little bit on this. We're going to also pull back to more of a standard mentality here, just to be a little less aggro. And I think that's going to be all right. Okay, so one more sub left. We got a lot of football left to play. So I think saving the sub is good, although we'll probably still do one maybe with, there we go, about 15 minutes left. And, again, I think I'd bring in Nicky Devlin here. Not like his sharpness is that bad off, but it's going to be okay. So, Nicky, let's do that. Or Tom Flanagan, who's actually one of our newer players and quite strong in a variety of different roles. Let's go ahead and do that. Although you're not quite as comfortable on the wing. Yeah, I know. I'm canceling the substitute. It's okay. We'll just... What? Undo. Okay, that was really weird and annoying. Nicky. There. Just be a full defensive. That's going to be fine. Okay. We'll get Flanagan in at some point. So 15 minutes left. We are getting some people tired, and of course, Robbie Crawford there. Whoa. What the hell was that? I was going to say, that was definitely an own goal. Hold on. We must re-witness this embarrassment. So it sort of touches whoever this guy is. Oh, it's Fortis, but someone else. C. Fortis. Carl? I don't know. Who sort of bumps it off his chest behind his own goalkeeper. Wow. 5-0. It'd be great to come off of this with a clean sheet. You just feel pretty good. 1 minute at a time. I mean, it's, you know, sort of insult to injury here to, like, concern ourselves with that, but full time. 5-0. Did anyone score twice? Craig McGuffey scored twice, getting player of the match over here. Well, I think it's, I don't know. You can't judge from just one game. One game can be an outlier. I'm less interested in the fact that Craig McGuffey scored. Oh no, he scored once. Oh right. 1-1-1-1-1 and an own goal. That's what it was. 2 assists. I was going to say, I'm less concerned with the fact that Craig has scored, although he hasn't scored in a while, so it's nice to see him break that drought. I'm much, much more interested in how many more plays he was involved in, how well that went. He got 2 assists out of it. That, to me, is what I'm the most excited about. Yeah, I'm absolutely pleased. It was a good win. I'm pleased with the result and your performance. Looking happy. I mean, I'd go out and explicitly praise Craig McGuffey, but he's already in superb freaking morale. So, like, let's not ruin anything over here. That was insane. What a smoker. I want to see what it's got to say about here. Dumfurlin hammered by Air. Oh, achievement unlocked. Thumping. Win a match by at least 5 goals. Yeah, it's my first time doing that. Fan-freaking-tastic. Air led by a superb McGuffey. You're goddamn right. And, oh, this is another signing over here. A little bit older. A lot of the signings that we did between episodes here, we could accept or delay. Let's take a look real quick. A lot of them were younger people, but you can see someone who's very comfortable playing as a midfield over here. Again, we're sort of doing this semi-blind. We know his work rate is going to be at least a 12. So, you know, somewhere potentially in the mid double digits. His natural fitness is in the upper double digits. Really good balance, really good strength. His actual technical tackling skill isn't as high as we might enjoy. His tackling is probably going to be brutal, but maybe lead to a lot of yellow cards, just like Andy Gigan over here. So it's nice to see that he is comfortable as a ball-winning midfielder. Yeah, and he's cheap as chips. Look at this, 170 pounds per week. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. So, yes, we'll absolutely accept you. Welcome to the team, David Ijaha? I don't know. Complete move. So the fans, they're disappointed. They don't think he's good enough. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming if we look here, at... can we not see specifically as a ball-winning comparison? It looks like he's not that great, but... I don't know. He doesn't have that much acceleration. That's true. Or the pace or stamina. So that might be a problem. He might just get beaten to things. But again, he's cheap. It's sort of it's very much a backup role. Maybe he'll turn out to be important. Maybe we'll release him pretty quickly. But I think it's fine. And we weren't looking for first-team players. We were just looking for suitable backups, feeling a little bit better. We still, finances we're currently spending $18K a week. We've got a budget of $23K. I did move some from the transfer budget to wage budget, and we still have some transfer budget to play around with. So I'm still worried. I mean, again, that overall our balance is dipping down, but I think we're in good position, and I'm pretty happy with our first team. I was just looking for some more backups because we did go in a little bit of a run with a couple of injuries and a couple of people who were not eligible and a couple of people who were red carded, and it made me kind of notice like, oh, this sort of sucks a little bit here. So Craig McGuffey still wanted by teams. What's his current valuation at? 18K. I think that's so unfair. I think his value is going to be a lot higher than that. I think he is still wanted, and I think there was some talk, and it's like, oh, I want stuff to happen. Believe, like, there's sort of a soft asking price here, and we auto-reject anything below that. It's mostly about auto-rejecting anything below that. If we get a really high offer, we might have to consider it. But now that we found, like, potentially a way to use Craig again, it's going to be that much harder to release him. But it was when he was on, like, a 9-game goalless streak or something like that, that it was kind of like, well, maybe he's not the right fit. I don't know. It's too bad that we couldn't spread out these 5 goals. Too bad we couldn't spread them out a little bit over our last few games. But wow, what a thumping. Again, Dunfermline may have just had a really bad game. We'll see. So the next game is going to be Dundee United. It's only the 4th round. We're not in the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup yet. I think if we win this one, we'll make it into the quarterfinals, and we'll be televising that, whether it's home or away. But I'm not going to be televising that one. So the next game where you guys are going to see are going to be us playing Livingston at home here. They're currently 10th in the championship. They're doing very, very, very badly. So hopefully we can put another mark in the W column after that, and maybe we'll start Craig McGuffey again. God damn. Thanks for watching. See you next time.